My name is Megan Decker. Welcome to the Writing Center's Guide to Setting Up a Document in Correct APA Format. You may notice another video on our website with a similar title. The difference between the two is that this video is specifically for nursing students and those learning APA for the nursing program. In this video, we'll go over formatting. For citations and quotes and other things about APA, please see our videos on this same page. The format includes the title page, the body of the paper, and the format of the reference page. The first thing you're going to want to do is obviously open up your Word document. Now, I will be using Microsoft Word. Things might be slightly different on Google Docs or Pages, but relatively they'll be the same. So you're going to go ahead and create a blank document. Perfect. And now, before we begin, there are some general principles that you will need to keep in mind for the entire paper. First, the font should be Times New Roman. The default is Calibri, so you're going to want to go ahead and change that. And you can just type in Times, and there it is, Times New Roman. Perfect. Next, the size should be 12 points. Usually the default is 12 points, but you can check that right here and you can go ahead and change it. This will never change throughout the entire paper, so like I said, you can go ahead and set that right now and keep it for the rest of the paper. Second, your margins should be 1 inch all the way around. This usually comes standard on all word processors, but you can check it by clicking on the Layout tab and then see Margins right here. Click on Margins. It should be normal and you'll see top 1 inch, bottom 1 inch, left 1 inch, right 1 inch. Finally, your entire document will be double spaced. The way to check that is to go up here. So you go back to your Home tab, you go up here to this little paragraph symbol with the line, and if you hover over it, it'll say line and paragraph spacing. Go ahead and click the down arrow and click 2.0. Perfect. Now your whole document should be double spaced Times New Roman 12-point font. So now that you've set up your parameters for your document, you're going to want to set up your headers. Now in APA, the first title page header is different than the rest of your page headers. And so I'm going to teach you how to make that different header right now. You're going to want to get into your header footer menu. You can do this by double-clicking anywhere near the top or the bottom of your paper, just like this. Okay, now we're in what's called the header footer menu. You're going to want to check this box that says different first page. So we click that, and this now says first page header. So now we're going to want to go back to home and make sure that our font is Times New Roman, because in the headers it will default back to Calibri. So we go ahead and change that, and then we can go back to our header footer menu. Next, you're going to want to add your page numbers first, because for some odd and inexplicable reason, if you don't, after you add your header and then you try to add your page numbers, adding your page numbers will delete your header. I don't know why, it's just a funky thing of Word. So you're going to go ahead and go up to this page number menu, click page number, and then you're going to want right align top of header and press OK. Now, this to me doesn't look like Times New Roman, so I'm just going to make sure. So we highlight it, we go back to home, and sure enough, it's defaulted to Calibri again, which again, it's because of the numbers. So we go ahead and change that to Times New Roman. Then we can come back here, header footer menu, and then we're going to want to type running head. Capitalize the R, but don't capitalize the H. Afterwards, in all caps, you're going to write the title of your paper and make sure that it is 50 characters long or less, and that includes spaces. I'm just going to go ahead and type this. Make sure I spell everything correctly. Okay, so that takes care of your first page header. So you can go ahead and close that. Now, what about the rest of your pages? As you can see, I don't have enough text on this page yet to constitute a second page, so I'm just going to go ahead and insert another page. Okay, perfect. And then do the same thing. You double click to get into your header menu. You can see different first page, so this is just your regular header. So now you're not going to type running head. You're just going to caps lock. And, oh, look, it defaulted back to Calibri. So we're going to go home. We're going to change it to Times New Roman again. You would be amazed at how many times you have to change it to Times New Roman. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I said before, how if you don't do the header first, or if you don't do the page numbers first, it will delete your header. So I'm going to go ahead and copy my header, just in case, and then I'm going to go ahead and add my page numbers. Press OK. Oh, look, it kept it. Okay. Oh, but our page number again defaulted to Calibri, so we're going to make sure, go to our home, Times New Roman. Okay, awesome. So now you have your headers for your paper. Now that you have your headers, the next thing you're going to want to do is set up your title page. Now your title page should include, in the following order, the title, your name, the name of the university, the course name, the instructor, and the date. When you write the date, make sure to write out the month and don't abbreviate. Now, I want to note that the course name and the instructor are nursing department required steps, and they're not actually required by APA standards. So let's set this up. You're going to want to go ahead and center your text. Oops, sorry, still in the header menu. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and click over here. Now we're out of the header footer menu. You're going to want to center your text and go ahead and go down to the center here. Perfect. Okay, so then you're going to type the title of your paper in just regular title case. And on the next line, you're going to say your name with your middle initial, if you have one, and then the name of the school. Make sure you type it out, don't just write BYUI. Perfect. And then after that, it's going to be your course, whatever that is, and your professor's name. And then the date. Perfect. And there you have your title page. Now the title page is double spaced, so make sure that you've got that checked. There you go. And don't let any extra space in between spaces. So like if you hit tab, just like that, go ahead and delete that since it's already double spaced. Perfect, and now you have your title page. Next comes formatting the body of the paper. Formatting the body of the paper is easy. You just need to pay attention while you actually write the paper. So I'm going to go ahead and add a new page. If you paid attention, my page disappeared. Just go ahead and add a blank page, and then I want to make sure my text is left aligned for the body of my paper. And now I'm going to go ahead and paste in some filler text that I found. So that'll give me a good 2 pages of text. Okay, so the important things to make sure is that there are no spaces between paragraphs and that every paragraph is indented. An easy way to do that is you just go to the top of the paragraph and press tab. So I'll go ahead and do that for each of my paragraphs here. Oops, not that one. And just in case you're wondering, this is called lorem ipsum. It's actually just dummy text. It's all Latin. That's why all the misspelled words. Okay, then you're going to want to go ahead and make sure that there are no spaces between paragraphs. Sometimes we do include spaces between paragraphs, but that's only when we're not in double spaced and we're not indenting our paragraphs. There you have it. So your paper should look something like this. Notice how it's left aligned and then what we call right ragged. Perfect. The next thing you're going to want to do is make sure that there are 2 spaces between each sentence. So you have 2 spaces there, and it looks just slightly bigger. The easiest way to make sure is just as you go along, make sure you type 2 spaces after each period. If you have a paper that has section headings, for example, if this section has a different heading than this section, please watch our APA headings video. The final step in formatting is formatting your reference page. I'm going to go ahead and scroll to the bottom here. And the best way to format your reference page is, let's say you've gotten to the end of your paper and you're going to want to go ahead, hit the Insert menu and click Page Break. This will give you a brand new page. Now you want this because your reference page should always go on a separate page than your last page of text. Even if you have just 1 sentence on your last page, your reference page should go on the following page. Now go ahead and go back home and center your text, and you're going to go ahead and type references. Don't underline, bold, anything. The only special thing about the references is that it should be centered. And make sure you keep your references double spaced, and then go ahead and hit back to left aligned. Now I have pulled up a sample reference. Let me just go ahead and paste that here. Okay, now this is not formatted correctly. As you can see, it's single-spaced, it has a hyperlink, it doesn't have a hanging indent. So I'm going to use this to go ahead and show you how to make the hanging indent. And while I'm doing so, remember to note that your references should be alphabetized. So if I quoted anyone starting with the letter A, they should come before this reference. All right, so to do your hanging indent, you highlight your reference, right-click, then you click Paragraph. And now right here, you'll see Indentation. You're going to want to hit Special and then Hanging and press OK. Notice how that gives you this first part sticks out and this part goes in. Next, you're going to want to remove the hyperlink. We don't want that blue there. So you're going to right-click again, you're going to go to Hyperlink, then you're going to click Remove Hyperlink. Okay, and if you're wondering how to format your references, meaning what goes right here, you'll notice that this is an MLA citation. If you want an APA citation, please see one of our other videos. So the next thing you're going to want to do is make sure that your references are double-spaced. So go ahead and just click 2, and it should look just like that. And then your next one can go right below that. Now your paper is formatted correctly according to APA standards.